What if you were told that today's the last time you will ever hold a pen? What if the words you write today are the only legacy you leave for the people you love? Most of us live as if we have forever, but the most painful words in the world are the ones we never got to say. Today, we write the last letter. In a quiet town where the wind always whispered through the willow trees, lived a man named Elias. Elias was a man of many words, but none of them ever mattered. He was a successful lawyer, famous for his sharp tongue and his ability to win any argument. But at home, he was a wall of silence. He provided for his family, bought them the finest clothes, and lived in a mansion. But he had forgotten how to speak the language of the heart. To him, I love you was a weakness, and I'm sorry was a defeat. One rainy afternoon, Elias was clearing out the attic of his childhood home when he found an old mahogany desk. Inside a hidden drawer was a sealed envelope with his name on it. The handwriting was his father's, a man who had died suddenly 20 years ago, leaving Elias with nothing but a cold inheritance and a heart full of unspoken questions. With trembling hands, Elias opened the letter. It wasn't about money or property. It was a letter of pure, raw regret. His father wrote about the hugs he never gave, the games he never played, and the pride he felt but never expressed. Elias, the letter read, I spent my life building a kingdom for you, but I forgot to build a bridge to you. Now, as I feel my breath fading, I realize that my silence was my greatest failure. Don't repeat my ghost story. Elias sat in the dust of the attic, the goosebumps crawling up his arms like a cold tide. He looked at his expensive watch. He looked at his suit. Suddenly, they felt like a shroud. He realized he was becoming his father, a man, building a mansion of gold on a foundation of ice. He grabbed a piece of simple, yellowed paper and a pen. He decided to do something he had never done. He began to write his own last letter. He wrote to his wife, not about the bills or the schedule, but about the way her smile still gave him hope after all these years. He wrote to his daughter about how he watched her sleep and felt the love so deep it terrified him. Yet he had never told her she was enough. He wrote to his son, apologizing for the pressure and the silence, telling him that his happiness mattered more than his grades. As he wrote, the room seemed to fade away. Each word was like a drop of blood, painful to give, but life-saving to release. He wrote for hours, crying for the first time in decades. The ink blurred as his tears hit the page, but he didn't stop. He was pouring 20 years of suppressed soul onto a few sheets of paper. He was breaking the curse of silence that had haunted his family for generations. Suddenly, his phone buzzed, a reminder for a high-stakes meeting. Usually, Elias would have jumped at the call, but today, he looked at the phone and then at the letter. He realized that the meeting was about $1 million, but the letter was about 1,000,000 moments. He switched off the phone and kept writing. He felt a strange peace descending upon him, as if he was finally shedding a heavy armor he had worn his entire life. That evening, Elias didn't go to the office. He went home early. His family was surprised to see him. They expected the cold, busy man who usually walked through the door. Instead, Elias sat them down. He didn't give them the letter not yet. He looked them in the eyes and said the words out loud. He hugged his daughter so tight she gasped. He told his wife she was his anchor. The last letter stayed in his pocket as a reminder. It was a reminder that every day is a gift, and every word is a seed. He understood that the tragedy of life is not that it ends, but that we wait until the end to start being real. Friends, if you had to write your last letter today, what would it say? Who are you holding a grudge against? Who are you waiting to forgive? Who are you too proud to love? We walk around with hearts full of unsaid things, waiting for a perfect time that is never promised. The pen is in your hand right now. Don't wait for the ink to run dry. Don't wait for the silence of the grave to realize the power of your voice. Write the letter. Say the words. Break the silence. Because the only thing worse than a letter that ends is a letter that was never written.